So one of the more exciting stories in the 2025 NBA season has to be the Detroit Pistons. They don't stink anymore. They're one of the more exciting teams to watch right now because of their all-NBA caliber point guard, Cade Cunningham. Cade's been an absolute beast this year, averaging 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 9.5 assists, and is carrying this Pistons team to being just somewhat respectable now in 2025. They're around 500, and I want to build a really good team around their franchise player, Cade Cunningham. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Yeah, I'm going to be doing a Pistons rebuild, and usually when I'm doing this Pistons rebuild, they are one of the worst teams in the league. It's a disaster. I don't know what's going on, but no, they've been a fun team to watch this year. It is a shame, though, that Jaden Ivey is going to miss most of the regular season. For some reason, 2K hasn't updated his injury, but I will make sure to have that on. Somebody said that I should lower my progression rate in the comments in the last video, so I'm going to lower it down to 30 today and have the regression rate up to 65. But with Jaden Ivey going to miss some time, I do want to get another number 2 option on this team, and I think Zach LaVine could be somebody like that. Someone that could take the load off Cade Cunningham. He's under contract, and I think he can actually be very effective in this offense, but I don't know how him and Ivy would work out. I like the idea of Brandon Ingram. He's a free agent at the end of the year, though. You got to pay him a ton of money, but he does have the Trans and Langdon connection over there. I really wouldn't want to touch Jimmy Butler. I know some people's fantasy dream could be that, but I want to continue to build around Asor Thompson and Ron Holland, who I loved in the pre-draft. I think Isaiah Stewart's really good. It's funny, though, because Jalen Duren, I don't think has been great so far in real life, but he has been very good in 2K pretty much since he got drafted. All right, so it is February 1st, and we are 24-24. Yeah, this team has just been exceeding expectations all year long. Shout out to JB Bickerstaff. If we can actually make the playoffs, that'd be great, and that's why I think I want to go all in, and I want to make some type of trade. 24-24, we can do it. We can definitely pass Chicago, who's on 26-23. I don't know why they do so well here. So I think the first guy I would like to target is Brandon Ingram. I think he would be somebody that can obviously fit the timeline with Cade Cunningham. He's 27 years old. For some reason, he got extended, but that's probably the extension I would give him. And I think he could be a good number 2 to Cade as well. So we'd lead off. Oh, man. I don't want to move a Asor. I would think about moving Jalen Duren. I would. Because if we're going to make this somewhat realistic, I think they would put Jalen Duren on the table in real life. I know Isaiah Stewart would probably get it done instead. I don't know why he has just a star-and-a-half trade value. If we did Tobias Harris and Isaiah Stewart for Brandon Ingram, is that enough? That is not. And I throw in my 2028 first-round pick. I'm just throwing this out there for BI. They're going to say no. All right. I think it's going to be tough to get Ingram, at least right now. LaVine, on the other hand, it's going to be tough. Yeah, that's what I have to offer up. Cade Cunningham to get Zach LaVine. All right, that's not happening. All right, I want to see if I could offer up Marcus Sasser and Tobias Harris for Cam Johnson. Let's see if we can get him. I will probably have to throw in a first-round pick, but could I get it done with 2 seconds, Sasser and Tobias Harris for Cam Johnson, who's not as good as a Brandon Ingram or Zach LaVine as a primary shot creator, but it can at least be something for us, and they do accept that. All right, I think we got a little bit lucky there, but hey, they wanted me to trade Cade Cunningham to get Zach LaVine or Cade Cunningham to get Brandon Ingram. That just was not going to happen. So I think that provides us some short-term upside, and then we could look to make a larger move in the offseason. I think as a locker room presence, we could bring back Tim Hardaway Jr. back on a 1-year deal. You know what? He's a Michigan kid. Stayed in Detroit here. And unfortunately, I'm going to play it at least a little bit more realistic for the end of the year, and we are not going to have Jaden Ivey play at all. And I kind of want to roll out Ron Holland and Asor Thompson to start because I think this duo could be the Terror Twins of the Eastern Conference. I want Cam Johnson to play a ton. We are going to play Jalen Duren a ton as well. And then maybe I'll play Jaden Ivey for the playoffs because I think he could be back around that point. So I got about 30 minutes left. I mean, we can give some minutes to Wendell Moore if we want. Bobby Klintman, Fontecchio. Yeah, let's go just a 10-man rotation. That's fine with me. Malik Beasley's definitely going to be the 6-man. We could stick with the 9-man rotation. That is fine. And I'll see you guys at the end of the year. I'll probably, if we do make the play-in tournament, I will bring back Jaden Ivey for that. I know we didn't make a super big acquisition there, but I think that can come in the offseason, and I definitely want to make that move sooner than later. And Luka wins MVP this year. Are you surprised? I don't know. He always kind of wins these awards, but it could go to Shea or Jokic in real life. It's probably going to go to one of those two guys, as Cade won most improved. Now, Cade has improved a ton this year. He's went from somebody that was he wasn't even an all-star talent last year to going to a definite all-star this year and a fringe all-NBA talent the way he is playing. And for somebody that never sold his Cade, going number 1 overall in a 2021 redraft stock, I am very happy from this year. I never gave up on him. I don't think that was like a hot take, but I do think a lot of people were in maybe on Franz or Scotty or Mobley or Şengün, and I think they would still take Cade number one. And it's looking like the 2021 draft class as a whole is great because all those guys that I mentioned have been great as well. And then you have Jalen Johnson, who's also been really good, and Jalen Suggs. As Cade gets on all NBA third team. How about that? Now, did the Detroit Pistons make the playoffs or the play-in tournament? We did not make the playoffs, but we did make the play-in tournament as as the 9th seed. You know what? That is the most competitive Detroit has been in a while. We won 14 games last year, 39 this year. That's a 25 win improvement. Shout out to JB Bickerstaff. That's the most amount of wins since the Blake Griffin 2019 season, so it's been a minute. And we're going to get Jaden Ivey back for the playoffs. We're going to insert him in there, and I'm excited to see how this team is going to perform, because like Ron Holland, honestly, 45% from the field I'll take. I need that 3-point shot to get better over time. That's like the big X factor with him and Asor, but Asor got some rebounds, assists, and points this year. All right, so this is going to be the play-in tournament / playoff rotation. We're getting Ivey back in that backcourt with Cade Cunningham. We got Cam Johnson at the 3. I'm going to go with a little bit of a bigger lineup here. Isaiah Stewart at the 4. Instead of having Cam Johnson at the 4, we're going to have Jalen Duren at the 5. Beasley, Asor, Holland, and Hardaway Jr. are all going to get minutes off the bench. Fontecchio was a little bit better, and I also had to sign Markelle Fultz as well, so I just gave him a 1-year deal. We're 3-star defense going up against against the Chicago Bulls in the first leg here. Our first-round picks protections can kind of get complicated, so I'll keep you guys updated if we're allowed to get our first-round pick this offseason. It's looking good, but man, oh my God, it was looking real good. We've been outscored by 15 here in the 4th. Oh my God, what a comeback towards the end. Are we going to OT? Yes, we are. Can the Pistons beat the Bulls in overtime? And yes, we do. We win by 1 point, and the Pistons are advancing to the second leg of the play-in. Like, Jalen Duren just had 24 rebounds in this one. All right, so we do got to beat the Indiana Pacers, a division rival. This is the biggest playoff-ish appearance between these two teams since, I mean, like the early 2000s. I don't even know if they went up against each other in the playoffs then. It's just more like the mouse at the palace. And like, I want to bring that energy of Pistons basketball back to the NBA because I think it's fun when the Pistons are good. They're one of the more exciting franchises, and they have been for a little bit in the 21st century, not as much in the last like 15 years. But hey, when I was growing up, like when I was a kid, and they had Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace and Tayshaun Prince, Chauncey Billups, like they were a fun team. And I grew up like, oh, that's a really good team. And then I'm like, why aren't they good anymore when I was a young kid? So we're up by 4 here in the 4th quarter. Cade doing Cade things. He's got 34 points. Cam Johnson is 22. Can we prevail? We're up by 4. And it's looking like the Detroit Pistons are going to be playing playoff basketball in 2025. Let's go, man. We did it. We ended up beating the Pacers. And I know we may get swept by the Knicks. That's fine with me. We just got here. I just wanted to get here. And now we're going to get Cade Cunningham some playoff experience. And we actually won game 1. Wow, we beat the Knicks by 3. Jaden Ivey dropped 34. Cade with 24, 11, and 7. Game number 2 goes to the New York Knicks. I would not be surprised if they won 4 straight after we won game 1, but that's fine with me. We even got a playoff win under our belt. I'd like to get a home playoff win, and boom, there it is. We get a home playoff win. We're tied 2-2 right now. Game number 5 goes to Detroit. Oh my God, we just won by 3. Cade is averaging 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, and 1.4 steals in the playoffs. Are we about to win in 6? Oh my God, I'd be pissed. I would be pissed if I were the Knicks, man. That's really just 2K for you. 32 for Ivy in this one. All right. I mean, I'm not complaining. We're taking on the Heat, who did not trade Jimmy Butler. If we beat the Heat, I'm going to lose my mind. We won game 1. Yeah, I don't think Cam Johnson puts the team over the hump like that. But hey, 2K thinks it does. Game number 2 goes to Detroit. Are we about to be like a conference finals team? Oh my God. If you would have bet like preseason Pistons in the conference finals, the odds would be ridiculous. And we just swept them. Okay. The Detroit Pistons just made it all the way from the 9th seed to the conference finals. We're taking on the Celtics. I know we're going to get swept, but the fact that we got here is kind of insane. Oh my God, we actually even won 1 game. 144-115. Let's go. Oh my God, what? What is going on? I'm 2 games away from the NBA Finals. Oh my God. What? What is going on? Could somebody explain to me? Oh my God, Jalen Duren had 20 rebounds in this game. Cam Johnson had 23. Jaden Ivey had 25 and 7. Oh my God, Jaden Ivey has been unreal in the playoffs coming back from that injury. Cade's got 33 and 10. All right, I'm 1 game away from the NBA Finals. What? Oh my God, we're in the NBA Finals. What the heck? I'm actually speechless. I mean, no way we win the finals. Cade just got conference finals MVP. There's a good chance we get swept here. I thought Boston was going to sweep me, but it looks like Dallas is going to sweep me. I think Boston was up 2-0, and then we won 4 in a row. Yeah, we get swept by Dallas, but the Detroit Pistons just made it to the NBA Finals. All right, so LeBron saw the Detroit Pistons make it to the NBA Finals, and he said, this is not the NBA I grew up on. I am retiring, as he's going to the Hall of Fame. So is Chris Paul. We're not going to get a first-round pick this year, but maybe I'll try to get a first-round pick. I don't know if we're going to make a trade at all. I believe it's going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to own our first-round pick, and that is going to be at number 15. 15. So, hey, even though we did make it to the NBA Finals, our pick is still going to be like we were one of the worst playoff teams record-wise, and we won. We made it to the finals with 39 wins. Watch me, like, build a 65-win team, and then we lose in round 1. But yeah, I think just, like, this Pistons team is just getting really exciting. Now they're just in competitive games, and I just felt so bad for their fans because I know how much of diehards they are and how much they've lived through this team, like, through the good days and through the bad days, and there's been a lot more bad than good over the last few years, so it's nice to see them play well. So maybe I don't even move Cam Johnson. Like, we have some cap space. I may as well absorb that 21 million into it. I don't have to pay Jaden Ivey till next year. And I want to see if the Thunder would give me the 10th overall pick on draft night for Isaiah Stewart, who I think could fit their offense pretty well. I know it's kind of maybe not the best idea to trade off some rotational guys, but I do want to get that first round pick, and that opens up a little bit more cap as well for free agency, which I think we can be an active team. They're going to be one of very few teams that are going to have cap space in free agency. So we're going to free up about 23 million if they do accept this, and they do not. They would want to do some swaps in there, which I would honestly be okay with. But what about if I throw in 2 seconds? All right, so we do that. We have all these seconds. We might as well trade some of them. So we do have the 10th overall pick now. Cooper Flagg went 1 to Utah. Ace Bailey, number 2 to Portland. Trey Johnson, I mean, I was kind of hoping he was going to fall to 10. He never was going to. As Alperen Sengun traded on draft night, the sky is blue. I would feel kind of weird if that didn't happen. Dylan Harper fell all the way to 5 to the Hornets. There goes Noah Essengay. He's actually been playing pretty good in Germany this year. I'm going to be doing my top 30 prospect update for this draft on my Ross, like, NBA commentary channel. Link to that is in the description if you want to subscribe to be ready for that. As we are on the clock here, Igor Demin is here, who has been falling off a little bit for BYU since they've been playing some better competition. I like the idea of getting Jeremiah Fears, who's been very fun to watch at Oklahoma this year, but we don't really need a point guard. Same with Kasperi Shakushanis. I know I could change their positions a little bit, but since we moved Isaiah Stewart, I mean, Asa Newell could be good because I think he's around this range. LeBron Phylon, it's LeBaron, but it's funny that that name had to correct to LeBron. Honestly, I don't mind going after Asa Newell here. I think we could look at one of these power forwards. I think Colin Murray Boyles. I think Asa Newell. Derek Queen has been really good this year. I'm going to take Asa Newell out of Georgia. Montverde guy like Cade Cunningham, and I think could be an eventual Isaiah Stewart replacement. And honestly, I like Isaiah Stewart more than Jalen Duren long-term for them in real life, but it's just in 2K. Sometimes it's not really going to work out like that. So I want to see with the 15th overall pick, there's Asa Newell. That ended up being Jeremiah Fears, who went to Minnesota. That pick was sent to the Knicks so they could get Jalen Duren. And then that pick was obviously sent to the Timberwolves in the Karl-Anthony Towns trade. So let's sign Asa Newell there. Ivy, Duren, Thompson, and I'm actually going to decline the team option on Wendell Moore just to free up a little bit of cap space because I plan on using it in free agency. Not going to offer any qualifying offers there. I mean, I'm not signing Kyrie Irving, but we do have $45 million to spend, and I feel like I don't really spend in the 2025 class. So John Collins would be kind of fun offensively. Miles Turner also would be fun. So we definitely have plenty of options if we want to add to this team. So I think going to next year's season, I'm fine with Cade at the 1, Ivy at the 2, Cam at the 3. Osor and Holland will figure out what they're going to be. Asa Newell as well. Like, Jalen Duren is under contract there at the 5, so I don't know if I want to invest a ton into Miles Turner. I was really hoping that Brandon Ingram was going to hit free agency because he could have been somebody that I was definitely going to go after, but, like, why haven't they updated the Caruso contract yet? I'm not too sure. Gershon Yabusele was a productive player for the Sixers this year, so I could use a backup point guard since we did trade away Marcus Sasser in the Cam Johnson trade, so I'm looking at him like this crop of point guards. Russ would be fun, but he's 36. I was looking at Lonzo on a 1-year deal. Say we did Lonzo. He's not going to play a lot. He's going to play like 16 minutes a night, but say we did Lonzo 2 years, team option. That'd be fine with me. And I did offer John Collins a 3-year deal worth around $60 million. Yeah, I'm going to try to see if we can upgrade the offense here, just get another good offensive weapon here. And John Collins improved his stock a ton this current year in Utah. We're going to bring him here. And I think just $20 million on this contract, which has a team option for the last year, the 3rd year, we could definitely trade him if we wanted to. So let's renounce the rates on these guys, even Wendell Moore as well. We get Lonzo to be the backup point guard. We sign John Collins. And I'm also going to bring in veteran Brook Lopez to be the backup center to Jalen Duren. Also is going to be a great mentor as well. Was traded to Portland, actually, last year. Can I see what that trade was? Because, yeah, Jeremy Grant for Brook Lopez. Okay. I mean, if that could actually happen, that would be insane. I would love to get Ty Jerome would be a fun backup point guard to Cade Cunningham. We're going to sign Sanjo here, and then that's probably going to be it for us in free agency. Josh Giddey could have been a fun addition as well. Not really, though. But, yeah, we get John Collins. It's Detroit. We're not a big free agency market, so these are the guys we're going to have to sign. All right, so here we are at player progression. Cade Cunningham is our highest overall guy. I want to see If John Collins does develop an outside shot, I am not opposed to making him the center. Go a little bit small ball, but then we could space the floor correctly. I'm excited about this team, though. I think we got better this offseason for sure. And before the season starts, we are going to re-sign Jaden Ivey on a 4-year deal, similar to what like maybe Anthony Simons got or RJ Barrett. So I think this is a good contract extension, maybe even Tower Hero as well. Jaden Ivey and the Cade Cunningham backcourt, it's going to live on for a couple more years. Yeah, we could sign a Sword Thompson after year 2. That is crazy that you could do that because you can't even do that in real life. So I guess that's cool. Cam Johnson, we could re-sign, which we'll worry about then. All right, so this is going to be the rotation. Cade, Ivy. I want to get some starting reps for Sword Thompson this year just to see what this trio could do. John Collins and Jalen Duren in the front court. Yeah, I know there's some defensive issues with that front court for sure. We're going to have Cam Johnson play a ton as the 6th man, followed by Ron Holland, and then Brook Lopez, Alonzo Ball, and the rookie Asa Newell. I think we're fine going forward with the assets we have in the core. I'm excited about this team. We were in the finals last year. Let's see if we can go back this year. We won 123-115 to start off the year, 67 combined between the backcourt, and then we lose by 1 to the Cavs, and then by 9 to the Knicks. Can we make it up against the Hornets? No, we start off the year 1-3. Wow. We just got blown out by the Nets by 45. We are 1-4. Make that 1-5. Was last year a fluke? I don't know. 1-5 to start off the year. Okay. All right. So, we've been a little bit better as of late. We did start off the season kind of rough, as you guys saw in the start, but we did have a couple of 1-point losses to the Cavs and the Celtics, 3-point loss to the Hornets. And then we picked it up a notch. We had some really good scoring outputs, a lot of 130-point games. Cade Cunningham picking up where he left off last year, 28 points, 7.4 rebounds, 6.4 assists. The true shooting is at 60%. Let's freaking go. Jaden Ivey hasn't been great off that new extension, but I'm not going to panic just yet. Jalen Duren is averaging 14 points and 9.7 rebounds. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Cam Johnson is shooting 39% from 3, averaging 13 points. You could say John Collins has been disappointing. For the money we paid him, it might be Jeremy Grant, deja vu, 2.0. I don't know. I was always going to give it a full year. I'm not moving him at the deadline, but I will not be afraid to maybe switch it up in the offseason. Asa Newell, I think, has been fine as a rookie. You look at Ron Holland. He struggles with the shot, but he's been more efficient this year, and I'll take 47% from the field. Asura, same thing. 47% from the field, I will take. So I think right now, I don't think I'm going to make any trades. I don't think I need to. I like Brook Lopez as a mentor and a backup 5. I don't mind Lonzo Ball. He's a winning player. So I think we're just going to let this core kind of go into the playoffs, and if Jaden Ivey struggles, if John Collins struggles, there's questions we can have in the offseason. We're the 5 seed right now, but we have a 4.6 point differential, which is number 2 in the East. So I think we will finish better than the 5 seed. And Luka wins his 2nd MVP in this video. Cooper Flagg is your Rookie of the Year and your 6th Man of the Year. I don't know why he wasn't starting in Utah. Marcus Sasser, all right, that hurts a little bit. Just goes out and is one of the best point guards in the league. Not really, but has a really good year. 18.5 points, 5 assists, 1.2 steals, 48, 39, 90 splits. You gotta be kidding me. All NBA first team, you got Luka, Jokic, Wemby, Shea, and Giannis. Second team, you have Sabonis, Ja, Halliburton, AD, and Anthony Edwards. Third team, you have Cade. There we go. So Cade makes it once again. 26 points, 7 rebounds, 6.3 assists, 46, 37, 79 splits. And that was it. We didn't get anybody else. No Asa Newell on a rookie team, but we finished the year as the 6th seed. I thought we were going to finish better than that. We actually dropped from the 5 seed when I mentioned that. We have a 3.6 point differential, which is 4th in the East. Hey, 47 wins. That's 8 more this year than we had last year. Cade Cunningham led the way in scoring, followed by Jaden Ivey. And John Collins was better in the second half, but still maybe to that contract, not where I'd like him to be. And Brook Lopez was also pretty bad. He's kind of washed at this point. I know he's a good defender, but he's such a liability offensively. I think he's going to get 8 minutes a night in the playoffs because I don't trust Asa Newell as a backup 5. He's going to get 8. I think so is Lonzo. I'm going to go 20 to Ron Holland, who had a productive year. I know he's a good defender. Could be a little bit better as an offensive player. Cam Johnson, 30 minutes a night, sure. Because I need one good scorer coming off the bench. So I think I'm still going to start a Soar. Let's go 40 to Cade, 37 to Ivy. Let's go 36 to Duren, 34 to Collins, and we could do 27 to Asura Thompson. We're 3.5-star defense going up against the Pacers, a team we knocked out in the first or second leg of the play-in tournament last year, and they did bring back Miles Turner. They pretty much have the same team as we started this rebuild off, as Halliburton goes off against Cade. Wow, we lost by 52 points. 52 points to start things off. Not where we want to be. Game number 2 goes to the Indiana Pacers, 110-92. Halliburton at 38, Cade at 22, 13, and 7. Game 3 goes to the Pistons. Hey, we win 157-128. Yeah, Cade with an unreal stat line, 37, 11, and 15. 31 for Johnson, 30 for Ivy, 27 for John Collins. There we go. Huge game 4 win, as well as, that was game 3. Game 4, we also had a huge win. 52 combined between Ivy and Collins. Collins stepping it up. All right, you're going to really convince me that I want to keep you next year. Game 5 goes to Detroit, 126-114. Collins has been unreal. Took 13 free throws, 19 and 18 for Duren and 4 blocks, 39, 11, and 5 for Cade. Game number 6 does go to the Pacers, 122, 120. 29 for Cade, 20 for Ivy, 20 for Duren. All right, game 7, here we go. This is to win our first playoff series of this run. We did win 3 playoff series last year, so hopefully we're able to win 4 this year, as it's looking good for us as long as we don't have a fourth quarter collapse, and we will not. Cade drops 37, 15, and 8. He's put up some nuts, like insane numbers in this video, and we're going to advance. And even though we're the 6th seed, we're taking on the Knicks, who we beat last year as the 8th seed, and they were the 1 seed. Game 1 goes to Detroit. Maybe we just own the Knicks. Maybe we just do 38, 15, and 12 for Cade Cunningham. He's putting up just MVP caliber numbers. I would love to get him an MVP in this video as we go up 2-0 against the Knicks, win both from the Garden, and we win game 3. Are we about to go back to the conference finals? I think so. And we just swept the Knicks. It's like last year when we swept the Miami Heat in round number 2. 39, 9, and 9 for Cade. 31, 9, and 5 for John Collins, who has been on, he's done a 180 since the playoffs have started. Because, in the regular season, he averaged 13 and 7, 20 and 8, and the true shooting has gone from 56% to 67%. Ivy's been much better in the playoffs. Cam Johnson's been good. Duren's been good as well. Lopez and Alonzo, not as much. But here we are, taking on the Cavs in the conference finals. Can we beat them like we beat the Celtics last year and go to the NBA finals? We do lose game 1. Hey, we were down 2-0 last year. What is that? 69 combined between Cunningham and Collins. We do lose game 2. We do, okay. All right. Well, we are down 3-1. And we get gentlemen swept. So last year, we ended up getting swept by the Mavericks in the NBA Finals. This year, we get gentlemen swept by the Cavs in the ECF. But you know what? I'm glad we got here. Collins was good. We're taking steps in the right direction. Shea and Garland are your conference finals MVPs. And Shea averages 43, 7, and 8 to win finals MVP. And there goes Brook Lopez. He does retire. But hey, we got him to another conference finals. So I'll take that. There goes Greg Popovich. Harden and Russ retire as well. And we will not own a lottery first round pick this year. But we do get our first round pick, which is going to be at number 20. So hey, it's not too far down, as we're going to keep JB Bickerstaff, who I think has done a phenomenal job as our head coach. So AJ DeBanto went to the Bulls, Darren Peterson to the Thunder, and Cameron Boozer to the Lakers. I took Michael Merson from Duke, who is a 6'10 forward / wing. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep him. Because I do wonder if the point of this offseason is to trade maybe Cam Johnson, upgrade that spot. We'll see. I'm going to pick up the team options on Bobby Klintman, Ron Holland, or Sword Thompson, but we are going to let the Lonzo Ball contract walk. We are going to probably try to bring back Jalen Duren here in free agency. Also, AJ Mitchell hit free agency, and he was coming off a very good year last year for the Thunder. Will they match that? Are we able to bring him back or bring him in? Yes, we. Oh, God. Okay. I almost renounced the rights on Jalen Duren. Thank God we had one more day to do that. So, yeah, we're able to bring AJ Mitchell in. I'm not going to give Jalen Duren a big deal. I'm going to give him $60 million. I'm going to give him the John Collins deal, just an extra $10 million a year. So, basically, the Jalen Green deal, but we're going to give him a team option instead of a player option. I believe he should, sign with us. I don't think he's going to get a better deal than that. And that is going to be the case. 2 years, $62 million, but we could tack on 1 more year. Welcome back. And since Brook Lopez retired, I would like to maybe sign another center, even though Asa Newell could maybe take a chance here. But we're actually going to get that center via the trade market. I'm going to be sending Bobby Klintman and a 2028 second via the Miami Heat to Phoenix for Oso Ighodaro. Him and Klintman were both second round picks in the same draft. As Cade goes up, Ivy goes up, Duren goes up, Collins, Asor, basically everybody but Cam Johnson. All right, Asor is going to want the big bucks next year. We'll see how he does here in year number 4. All right, so it's going to be the same starting 5 as last year. The bench is going to be Cam, Ron Holland, Asa Newell, and AJ Mitchell. So Michael Merson and Oso Ighodaro could end up getting minutes if this team underperforms at all. So we are 3.5-star defense under JB Bickerstaff. Let's stick with that. We start off the year with a 14-point victory over the Rockets. Man, if John Collins could pick up that momentum that he had in the playoffs, same with Jaden Ivey, we could be in a good spot. We're getting off to somewhat of a rough start like we did last year. And we're here at the deadline, 31-21. So we are seeing this team improve year over year. Basically, we weren't this good last year at the deadline. We were a couple games behind this. We have a 5.1 point differential. It wasn't that high last year. Shout out to Brooklyn, who signed Luka Doncic. All right, so they are the team to beat for sure in the Eastern Conference. So I could look to see if I want to improve the offense, if I want to improve the defense. John Collins is not as good as he was in the playoffs, but he's still performing better in the regular season than he was last year. I think we could try to leverage Cam Johnson's $23 million a year contract at this year's deadline. I think that's a big piece to move. And we are going to send the expiring Cam Johnson contract and our first round pick this year in division. And we are picking up Andrew Nembhard from the Indiana Pacers. He was pretty bad last year. He has been much better this year, and we're going to buy back in on him And yeah, we are going to play him probably 25 minutes a night. He's going to be a combo guard for us off the bench. He's going to play the 1. He's going to play the 2 at times. He's going to be the 6th man. And I think that is an upgrade over Cam Johnson for the playoffs. So hopefully we can play better in the second half. And hopefully this team could end up being a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. I just don't know if I'm going to pay Asor Thompson that much money. And Luka wins MVP. 3rd straight year just on a different team this time around. Igor Demon, 6th man of the year. Yeah, he looks pretty good. Just don't know what his position would have been here in Detroit. And there's Kasparis Shakuchonis, who I could have taken, but we opted for Asa Newell. So we ended the season on not getting the 1 seed that went to the Brooklyn Nets. Does Cade get an All-NBA team? He does. He's on All-NBA second team for the first time in his career, even though I think last year was maybe better. I don't know. He had a 65% true shooting and averaged 25, 7, 7, and 1. He was really good this year. And we finished the year as the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. We're going up against the 5th seeded Raptors in round 1 who have drifted. VJ Edgecombe, they have Jonathan Mogbo, there's Jakob Poeltl, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, there's OG Anunoby, Grady Dick, Ty Jerome. So here we are, taking a look at the stats through this year. Jaden Ivey was our 2nd leading scorer, shot 35-ish% from 3. I mean, last year was pretty disappointing efficiency-wise from the first year of this, so he's bounced back a little bit. John Collins was much better in the regular season, but still really wasn't great. Hopefully he turns it up a notch in the playoffs, and maybe he's just a playoff riser. There's Jalen Duren. I don't think he's anything crazy at the center position, but it's still a good player. I really like that pickup from Indiana. There's Asor Thompson. Asia Mitchell hit his 3s and his free throws, and there's Asa Newell in year number 2, as well as Ron Holland, who maybe hasn't been the greatest player so far. So playoff rotation, I think we bumped down Ron Holland probably to like 15 minutes a night. I think I'm going to go keep Mitchell at 15 is fine, and I'm going to keep Newell at 17. That's good. Nemhard at 25, and then I would like to go probably around 40 to Cade. Let's go 31 to Thompson, 33 to Collins, 33 to Ivy. Let's do that. Round number 1 against Toronto, a series we should win. We beat them by 9 in game 1. AJ Mitchell and Cade. Point guards getting it done. 51 points combined between the two. And we win game number 2. Cade drops 29. Ivy with 22, 5 and 8. There's John Collins with 18 and 12. Game 3 does go to Toronto, 120, 109. 23 for Cade, 23 for Collins, 21 for Ivy, 7 assists as well. Game 4 goes to Detroit, 125, 95. 29 and 10 for Collins, 24 for Ivy, 22 and 12 for Cade. 16 and 13 for Duren. And game number 5, we do lose. 108, 101, 21 for Ivy, 20 for Duren. And we do drop game 6 as well in overtime. We lose by 4. Oh, man, I'm nervous. Collins has been, he's been fine here in the playoffs. Ivy, he's not hitting his 3s, which is a little alarming. Cade has been great. Here we go, game 7. Unfortunately, we're on the same side of the bracket as the Brooklyn Nets, so you win. You're going up against the best team in the East. We have a great first half. We have a good third quarter. All right, we're going to win game 7. Got a little scary, but we ended up blowing them out by 37 points. 27 for Duren, 26 for Cade. Cade had a triple-double, Duren had a double-double, and we're taking on Brooklyn. So they got Luka, they got Cam, they got Whitehead, Clowney, Claxton, Sasser coming off the bench. Of course, he's just like a stud now. Game 1 goes to Detroit. Okay, we just beat him by 34. I thought we would have lost by 34. Asor Thompson having a good game. All right, he's averaging 6 assists in the playoffs and about 2.6 stocks. We do end up losing game number 2, just fine. Sasser going off against his former team. We do lose game 3, 145, 113. Luka drops 54 against us. Oh my God. Game 4, we end up losing 194. And then game 5, all right, we stay alive. We dropped 149 on them. Collins had a good game here, but he's been all right. There's Jaden Ivey, who's also been all right. Game 6 does go to Brooklyn, and we lost here. So we made it to the finals in year 1. Luka swept us. Last year, we ended up losing to Cleveland in the conference finals in a gentleman's sweep. This year, we lose to Luka in the quarterfinals in 6. So we've been going down each year. Does that mean next year we're going to be a first-round exit? Not sure. As Luka beats his former team in the NBA Finals as the Nets win in 6. There goes Steph. There goes Paul George on the Jazz. Jimmy Butler on the Spurs. There goes Middleton, Draymond as well. All right, so we haven't picked in the lottery once like with our picks, which is just kind of crazy. We've made the playoffs all 3 years so far. The Pacers will get our first round pick at 21 from that Cam Johnson, Andrew Nemhard trade. And I don't know if I'm going to make any trades at least until after team player option, since here's how the top 10 of that draft ended up looking. We're going to pick up the team option on Collins, but he's definitely not safe. We're going to pick up the team option on Iguodala as well. We're going to give Asor Thompson the qualifying offer. All right, this may be a risky trade, but we're going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to trade Jaden Ivey, which I didn't want to do, but I don't love his shooting, and I know I'm trading for somebody that also can't shoot, but at least he's a much better defender and just as good of a playmaker, Amen Thompson. So we're getting a swap best from Dallas in 29. I'm giving them my first then, and I'm giving them Osei Iguodala. But that means we're going to re-sign Asor Thompson, and we're about to have the Thompson twins on the perimeter, the most athletic wing group in the NBA. The Kings are trying to sign him. 4 years, 137. We got to pay the man. So, yeah, we're going to keep John Collins. Like, we're going to have Cade, Amen, Asor, John Collins, and then Jalen Duren right now. And then, hey, if the season isn't going well, John Collins could easily be moved at the trade deadline. And then I do need a backup center, so I'm going to sign Day'Ron Sharpe. Let's bring him in on a 2-year deal here, the former Brooklyn Net. There we go. We got a 94. Amen Thompson's now a 90 overall. Jalen Duren, there's a sore. Collins, Holland, Nembhard. Like, we'll see how this team does with its floor spacing. I mean, maybe we do have to start Andrew Nembhard at the 2, which you could say Andrew Nembhard could be better than Jaden Ivey at one point, so I think I'm fine with that. And then we'd move one of the Thompson twins to the bench. Ron Holland wants $28 million to next year. I doubt I give him that. I think I'm going to re-up Andrew Nembhard right now, but I'm going to cool off or at least wait and see what Holland can do this year. All right, so here we go. We got Cade. And then you got A. Thompsons right there, a Soar and a Men. And then you got the Jays, John and Jalen. You're going to have Nembhard, Holland, Newell, Mitchell, and Sharp off the bench. So yeah, still no minutes for Michael Murrison this year. We're going to be 4-star defense. So obviously a Men helps that out a lot over Jaden Ivey. First game of the year, we do end up winning by 4, 107-103 against the Pelicans. And we're 37-15 at the deadline. This is by far our best record at this point yet. But man, the Bulls and the Nets are both so good. I feel like the Nets are just around Luka. And the Bulls have a little bit more of a well-balanced team, but they got AJ Debinsa right there, who they obviously won the lottery for. So we got Cade at the 1. You got Collins, who's been pretty serviceable for us this year, honestly. You got the Thompson twins. Like, I wonder where we struggle the most. Maybe it's just finding offense complementary to Cade. Like, if we ended up going to our team stats around the NBA and we look at our ratings, so offensively, we're actually pretty good. We're 4th. Defensively, I guess we could be, I don't know, we're like 5th defensively. So we're actually pretty good on both ends. We have the 2nd best point differential in the NBA, or rating differential, or net rating, I should say, only behind the Brooklyn Nets. So you know what? I don't think I'm actually going to make any trades. I thought about moving Ron Holland, but that could be more of like a sign and trade in the offseason if needed. But it's going to be tough because we got to go through Luka Doncic. Eliza Arenas, the son of Gilbert Arenas, ends up getting Rookie of the Year. Igor Denman is your 6th Man of the Year. Wemby is your depoy. Gigi Jackson, Most Improved. Alperen Şengün is your Clutch Player of the Year, okay, in Washington. And Bickerstaff is your Coach of the Year. There's Jokic, Luka, Wemby, Cameron Boozer, and Ja on first team. No Cade on 2nd team or Cade on 3rd team. Oh my god, we beat out the Nets for the 1 seed. Let's freaking go. We're taking on the Knicks, who we've owned in the playoffs so far. We ended up winning 2 more games than the Nets, and we had a 14.4 point differential, the best in the NBA. Wow, our second half must have been unreal. And I'm really excited to see this offense just go to work and defense here in the playoffs. Austin Newell, I mean, his threes never started to fall. I know he's been up and down with that this year at Georgia, but I kind of got a little excited. But I actually don't think I'm going to play him in the playoffs. I want to go to a 9-man, and I think Day'Ron Sharpe's going to be the backup big. He's going to get 15 with AJ Mitchell. I think Ron Holland can get about 17 minutes. Let's go 23 to Nembhard, 32 to Duren. We'll go 30 to Collins, 34 to the Thompson twins, and then let's go 40 minutes to Cade Cunningham. We're taking on the Knicks in round number 1. We beat them twice. They do have Scotty Barnes now, no longer have OG, and they've Nate Men. Now that we're the 1 seed, watch us lose to them when they're the 8 seed. Of course, we lose game 1, but thankfully we are able to win 4 in a row. So in round number 1, all right, it was interesting. Cade had 19, Amen had 17. All right, at least he's Asor at 15 there. I thought, I'm getting them mixed up. I was like, oh, Asor kind of breaking out offensively. Lonzo went back to Chicago, and we really should beat this Bulls team. Like, I feel like the Knicks were way more intimidating, and we go up 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. Boom. There we go. So it was inevitable that we were going to get the Brooklyn Nets once again. And yes, I'm definitely nervous because they beat us last year and they've been a very good team so far, but we do end up blowing them out in game number 1. Double for Cade. I want to say Clay. I don't know why. And Asor Thompson. I got to like click on their player profile because I have no idea who they could be, because they could both put up like the same identical stat lines. It's not like it's like a point guard or it's like L Ball, LaMelo, and Alonzo. Shout out to LiAngelo though. You know why. It's not like those guys, because if it's the higher score, I know it's probably going to be LaMelo. But these guys put up such similar stat lines, and we just swept. Oh my god, we just swept Brooklyn. Let's go. And we're taking on the Mavericks here in the NBA Finals, in the conference finals. John Collins, man. I was ready to give up after year 1, but he had a good playoff run, and this guy has been a beast for us. We're taking on Dallas here in the NBA Finals. They basically replaced Luka with De'Aaron Fox. We do win game 1, 107-91. We are 3 games away, 2 games away, still 2 games away. All right, we're up 3-1. Can we win game number 5 at home and win the 2028 finals? This is our 2nd finals appearance in this video, and we did lose to the Mavericks back in 2025, which is crazy, and we just blow them out, and yeah, we just won it all. What a successful Pistons rebuild, man. I wanted to build fun teams and get Cade some help, and we did that. We went to the NBA Finals twice, the conference finals appearance 3 times, and last year we did lose in the quarterfinals. I'm thinking I'm going to have to get Levine or Brandon Ingram or Jimmy Butler going into this video. I got Cam Johnson, who I eventually traded for Andrew Nemhard. I got both the Thompson twins, which is kind of dope. I signed John Collins, signed AJ Mitchell, signed Day'Ron Sharpe, drafted Asanua after trading away Isaiah Stewart, which is risky. But here we go. We got the Pistons a ring in 2028. So that's gonna be it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, drop a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think about the Pistons and their season, and maybe if they should add one of those names down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.